the most important part of your astral chart is actually your north node. And usually it's really a good idea to know this before you turn 30, because that's when, by the time you're 30, you're going to realize that you have been in a Groundhog Day of repeating patterns and lessons, and you're kind of like, why do I keep getting in these situations and meeting these same types of people and essentially living the same life, learning the same lessons? Well, what's cool about knowing your north node is your north node is the sign on the astrological chart that shows your path in order to get out of your patterns and your status quo and your sense of comfort. For instance, I found out that my north node was in Aries, and I'm sorry if this, anyone watching is Aries, but I really hate Aries as a sign, as a I just have this, when I'm around aggressive people, I'm annoyed. When I'm around know-it-alls, I'm annoyed. And of course, that's because I tend to have really that people-pleasing, great kind of harmony, peacekeeping to the extreme where, you know, I'm the anti-Aries. I'm not aggressive enough. I don't take initiative enough. I don't assert my will and independence, and I don't have enough of that Aries. I could learn a lot from Aries. And so North Node is the path to getting out of your patterns, your Groundhog Day, your problems. Now, they also say that a North Node is indicative of the life path you need to take on in this lifetime, right? And by extension, then your South Node, which they actually should tell you your South Node in your chart as well. It's just implied if you read more about North Node. But my South Node is in Libra, which means my comfort zone is in this kind of peace-seeking, diplomacy, tact, niceness, hosting, gracious, calm. Of course, Libra has indecisive, codependent. What are the other? So what they say is, look at how your South Node has been formed as much as it can be, to the extent that now it's so strong it's weak, you know? So you're so good at being nice that you're a pushover. You're a doormat. That's basically Libra karmic South Node type of language. So in order to get to rise into your North Node, you have to understand your strengths and your comfort zone. So your strengths are going to be tact and diplomacy, all that kind of stuff, peacekeeping, stepping into someone else's shoes to the extent of that Libra energy. And there's lots of good things to be learned from that. But as you turn 30, look into, I need to think about in what way my comfort zone has been limiting me. So my Libra South Node has given me these skills, and now it's time to rise into the very uncomfortable Aries energy. And that's just an example on my personal North Node and South Node. What's really interesting is when you look at people's charts who are successful North Nodes, you actually realize, they are rising into their North Node, and that's why they're having a success. Quite often, for instance, if my North Node is Aries, and then I'm an Aries Sun or Moon or Mars or any type of Aries energy in my chart, I'm more likely to embody that North Node quicker because I've got a bit of help. Now, if you have tons of South Node, if say I was just Libra all over the place and Pisces, do you think I would have a tougher time getting into my North Node, and this lifetime may not be, this might just be another one where, oh, I haven't learned my lessons, in a Groundhog Day, in a state of can't quite get myself up and ascend. Well, I have a Leo moon, so I think that is a huge help to getting into Aries North Node. But I look at other people and I see, for instance, I know somebody who is in an Aquarius, and their North Node is Leo, but their sun sign is an Aquarius, and then their South Node is Aquarius. So and then their moon is Libra, and then their Mars is Libra, and then their Venus is Aquarius. So there's like, most of their chart is air signs, and not any fire or even just a little Gemini. They're not even that. It's hard for them to ascend to their Leo North Node, because they're so comfortable being that Aquarius giving, like Aquarius is detached, but they also in their detriment, if you look at the weak side of an Aquarius, they're so detached that they're not self-oriented in terms of they're selfless to a detriment. Like they're just kind of a not self living amongst people, and they don't really know who they are. And rising into a Leo North Node is having that pride enough to know yourself and have that confidence. And so I thought, like, looking at this person's chart, well, it's going to be hard for them to rise into that North Node. So look at your chart, and if your North Node is in a sign that's already prominent in your chart, then great. You're probably gonna naturally be kind of knowing how to get out of your comfort zone and into channeling that energy for success. But it's so valuable to know and identify it when you're in your 30s, because then you start to realize, oh, when I do go into this Aries energy that feels so uncomfortable and scary and hard, I get more of a result than when I'm staying in Libra energy. And the Libra South Node in me, I realized that it's amplified by I have a Libra rising. So both of those are working at odds with Aries. But then I have mostly Virgo. I have Virgo Sun, Virgo Mars, Virgo Venus, and Leo Moon. And so I think that Leo Moon definitely helps get to that fire energy. But I also think Virgo has that independent streak and that loner quality that can actually really help manifest to that Aries independence and just strength of will, that Mars energy of Aries, Anyway, and so it's great to know. And if you already know astrology, this I hope makes sense. This is not a video for people who think astrology is so stupid. And I'm sorry, but leading psychologist Carl Jung also thought astrology was so useful for archetypes and personality. So you're in the minority there. Most people recognize that astrology and knowing these personality archetypes can really give us a lot of self-knowledge, self-awareness, and help us understand our patterns, our personality, and other people. And it's great. And there's more to us and there's more dimension, but I think it's so much fun to explore. And finding my North Node really helped me figure out, oh, look at all of this kind of I had such a resistance to just having initiative, just waiting for someone to give you permission to do something almost. And that's such an obvious when Libra's gone to the extreme of, no, gotta have that assertive Aries energy. And it's exactly what I needed in order to know, okay, that makes sense. I've got to do what's uncomfortable and foreign and scary to me. And you know, another thing is my Jupiter, I know this is like my Jupiter, which normally I wouldn't necessarily know about all the planets, but I do know that Jupiter is supposed to be your good luck planet, or your career, or all kinds of things. So mine is in Aries, so it's another sign that you've got to have more initiative, and you've got to get out of this comfort zone of being everyone's friend and being nice and being peacekeeping. Anyway, so I hope that will help you. On the only north-south node axis that for me is hard to understand is Sagittarius and Gemini. That duality to me is so hard for me to grasp, because for some reason I think of them as similar, and I don't have either of their energies in my chart, so I don't know maybe very many. So I guess that's just some kind of, I wonder what that one's like, because to me, a Gemini and a Sag are both kind of outspoken and blunt and verbose, wordy, witty people. So, but I guess how it's been explained to me is that Sagittarius is more of a doer and Gemini is more heady. So I guess that makes sense. But all the other ones really are kind of more, I kind of see that duality and that opposition. It's really easy to see in Libra, Aries. It's really easy to see in Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer. Capricorn and Cancer, like Capricorn's the sign of the father and Cancer is the sign of the mother. So those the duality of that masculine energy and kind of that more nurturing moon Cancer energy. I like those. That's a fun dichotomy. And then there's Virgo and Pisces. Virgo is like, to me, it's kind of the down-to-earth, organized routines, very much in the here and now and planning for the future. And Pisces kind of has more of a, they're not in that earth groundedness, they're more dreamy and kind of, sometimes you know, they're not able to make a schedule. So it's kind of like like both of them, I can see how they can learn from each other, because Virgo gets out of their head and the earth and gets into just a little bit more fanciful dream and think beyond just this dimension. And then Pisces can get more down to earth with Virgo energy and kind of get out of that rigidity. And then what are the other signs? Taurus and Scorpio. Now that one is easy to understand, because it's a Scorpio. A Scorpio's kind of south node is often, they are always paranoid and getting into the drama of thinking that, getting into things that they think are happening that they gotta let go and not be so fixated on drama. And I may be completely wrong with this. This is kind of not as, these are not my signs, so I may not know them as well. But so Scorpio going into Scorpio Taurus axis, either way, they are also apparently opposites, which I guess I'm realizing as I say it out loud, I'm not as well versed in knowing why they are. And Aquarius and Leo, we have, as I said, kind of that self, not self. And what else are there? We talked about, I think we talked about them all. Anyway, so learn your North Node, and it's so valuable, it's really helpful.